Alright, welcome back. Last time we went through the entire thing with the Hussites. The Hussite wars and whatnot. I made it, although not exactly amazingly well. Although it did force me to expand my army, so there's at least that. And I still managed to maintain emperorship, although I did lose the high quality heir to someone that's not quite as good, although he's still better than 10. Yeah, I just hope he doesn't die, and yeah. I do not like the current heir, though. 014 is pretty bad, especially since I just got bureaucracy ideas. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun trying to catch up and keep up in administrative points. Adaptability. Bureaucracies must adapt to changing conditions and local variations. A less rigid system makes it much easier to integrate newly acquired lands. Expansion capacity, or admin efficiency, depending on how you would like to see it, plus 10%. I can get the merchants quartered. Although the Great Crusades ended in the 13th century, the practice was revived again in the 15th century when Europe itself was invaded by infidels and when heresy threatened to emerge. When the Pope called for a crusade, Christian princes were invited to lend their swords to fight for the true faith. Especially pious lords and those near the conflict took up arms, but most Centaurcoon forces ignored the call entirely. As it became apparent that the Crusades were failing to have the success they had in the past, fewer and fewer princes were willing to heed the call. Yet perhaps the age of Crusades was not yet spent. Where is Schönburg? Okay, maybe I need to move that again. Oh. Converted to collects time. Huh. Send troops to fight. I didn't really need that manpower anyway. Okay, that's 100% truth. I would like to have that manpower, but it's not going to be needed for a while. Hand cannons. Some infantry began carrying hand weapons into battle, allowing them to bring gunpowder weapons to a decisive spot. The guns were still inaccurate and slow to reload, but now there were more of them on the battlefield. Land morale plus 0.2, combat width increased by 1. Infantry fire plus 0.1 enables fire wagon, which figures an artillery inside East Asia. Teutonic conquest of Prague. Ah, the Teutons. I think I need to start using this to lower inflation. Wait, that's the wrong thing. I do not want to reduce corruption. I want to raise our maintenance. Double house. There we go. – Great. Lovely. Right. Put on trial, it seems that his experiments into the nature of life in the universe have brought him into conflict with Holy Scripture. When religious leaders approached him, his academic responses left him little choice but to firmly charge him with heresy. Order his freedom immediately. Sure, I have to deal with church displeasure for a year, but my religious life is already hostile anyways. Eh? I'm gonna remove right of commerce from the burghers. Sure, they hardly contribute anything to corruption, but might as well. Eventually, as my own cities grow, they'll have a bigger and bigger impact on the country. No stability loss. Well, at least I get the Imperial Band consistency on France directly. Of course, declaring war on France is crazy. This is... That would just be an awful, awful idea. But what, I mean, they're one of the great powers in the world, if not... Yeah. Frank, are they? It's a third. Look at me. I barely have 50% more than the development of their subjects, and they themselves have, what, 1,000 dev? Over 1,000 dev on their own. Unless they decide to declare war on, on a member of the HRE, there is no way I would be able to fight them. Lacking Imperial Peace, I don't know why. Fender Stetten. Spearley, Pomeranian, Conquest of Gustro. No. The fact that we're lacking Imperial Peace, there's no longer a good reason for me to avoid going to war with Schernburg. Okay, maybe to Vogtland. That's the closest province. Also going to need military access. On the other hand, wait, I'm the Emperor. If I go to war with anyone, I have military access through the entire HRE. Okay, non-issue. Let me grab some stage from you. And... transfer trade power and war reps. Force religion, which costs 1%. Stair trade, war reps. Give up claims. I can't even grab a ducat. Okay. Sort of maximize prestige. Alright, now I don't need to do this anymore. I think I might actually have enough. I have enough prestige. Time to dump 40 prestige down their throats. 10 prestige down here, and I've just burned all the prestige I just gained. Yay! Okay, revoke the tax exemption. I do want to get as much tax money as possible. It's so little money that I can just grab 2 fists of treasury without any stability repercussions. Yep, don't quite have the admin points. Spent too much. I really shouldn't have lowered that inflation. Actually, let's cost this. Okay. Oh well. There's not much I can do about it now. Another is also the case presented by that capital. I will eventually get to a capital building. Now that I'm fully aware of how those work. However, it's going to cost 1,500 ducats for the very first capital. And then every time I build a capital, the construction cost of the level 1 capital will increase by around 500 ducats. I don't have nearly enough money to be able to handle that effectively. Besides, I also need... I want to get my city at least developed partially. I want to get to the point where I don't need to touch it, at least for my capital, before I do this. Albania is converted to Orthodox. What makes it different, you know, because they're bowing to 5%. Introduce air. Some prestige, some fighting strength. Well, this is a zealot. I need those admin points when I get to the next tech, otherwise I'm going to lose way too much innovativeness for me to be comfortable. Plus, becoming ahead of time again in admin tech will give you back that plus 20% to production efficiency modifier. Anyway, full plate armor. Let me upgrade from bombards to hoofnesses, which is entirely useless because artillery fire does not appear, and as a result, artillery does nothing until tech level 15. Oh, that's why I'll be getting a new variant anyway, the swivel guns. Right. Full suits of plate armor were worn by some heavy cavalry. Full suits protected the soldiers much more effectively than just a breastplate, but their cost and weight made them unpopular for centuries. Once they were used in battle, however, their effectiveness was undeniable. Maneuver value plus 5%. Cavalry shock plus 0.5, and new artillery type. Ah, joy. Alright, move here. Full rigged ships, and I'll be getting that global trade power buff. Square sails used in the north had the advantage of power, while lateen sails used in the south were highly maneuverable and relied less on the wind blowing in the right direction. As ships grew larger, some began to carry both square and lateen sails in order to take advantage of the wind when it was favorable, and to continue sailing when it was not. These full-rigged ships soon came to dominate both northern and southern waters. Plus naval morale plus 0.25, naval maintenance plus 5%. More important, however, is that I now regain that plus 20% trade power buff, earning me more money again. Yeah, it's almost 15 ducats now. Which is great. What's this? No. I'm not making anyone into a march. You're my core territory. And prime for annexation. Right, okay, let's get that mission. Where was it? Oh yeah, Golden Prague. Growth of the capital for 30 years and 5 days. Yeah, it's gonna be a while. Right, that reduces the cost of the craftsman district by 40 ducats. I should also, while it's still active, that modifier, while the modifier is still active, growth of the capital, get the Art Corporation and the Renowned University, because that's needed for the second mission of Bohemia in Science and Art. Which gets me a similar-ish modifier of cultural growth for 30 years and 5 days. And more prestige, which is nice and all. A famed artist in our country has produced a stunning piece of art that illustrates the supremacy of God over the world. It awes everyone who sees it, and beautifully confirms the order of existence. As the royal family patrons the artists, it is now up to us to decide what happens to it. Perfect timing, I was just in need of some money. I mean, it is a decent amount of cash. I'll take it. Sure, it burns papal influence, but yeah, what do I care about the Pope? Impending excommunication, and no, that can't happen. I have way too high relations with the Pope. There's a reason why I keep a diplomat there. Okay, I've got enough for humanism now. Okay, so it's gonna reduce by 80 points. So the total cost will be 643. That's, yeah, okay, 643. Currently I have 672. Wait, 543. Currently I have 672. So about 130 more. Additionally, I earn 7 per month, so in 24 months, which is how long I'll have, I can round that to about, I probably shouldn't round. So it's the same as 14 times 12 again. I calculated this before, it was 168. So I'll be getting 168 admin points more. That plus the extra 140 that I have, this will cost 315. So long as nothing happens, this will be enough. I think I'll just wait until the tech penalty disappears though, then see if I can grab the idea first. However, that's not going to happen this session, because I'm ending it here. Right, so since then, there was an ill-fated attack on Poland by the Teutons. You can say that went well. Apparently the Teutons are now rivals of Poland. Yeah, Poland's dangerous. For one simple reason. They're highly decentralized, so their standing army is tiny compared to what they can raise as levies. Yeah. France has integrated Burgundy, and they're utterly terrifying. Albania converted to Orthodox, as it should be. So now I don't see why Argonaut exists. Honestly, you two should unify somehow. Crimea lost to Kiev and Theodoro. Again. Yeah, okay, this looks weird. This is very strange. Honestly, Kiev, couldn't you have given Cherson, Turin to Doro to make the borders look a little better? I mean, I do have to admit the Kiev looks great like this, but Theodore looks strange. I see no change over here. On the other hand, it's so chaotic that I can't tell. I don't see any change over here either. When has this changed? At all, this campaign. I don't see any difference whatsoever up here in the north. It looks like the English lost some territory to Desmond. How did that occur? Anyway. Oh yeah, I finally got scraped together the money for the Craftsman's District. Which is amazing. And the growth of the capital will occur for the next 27 years and a half. Yeah. All in all, it seems to be doing pretty well. The HRE is just about ready for its next reform, the Reichsregiment. So consolidate the Imperial Diet. I will get an extra diplomat and diplo rep. Yeah. And members will get -1 unrest. Okay. After that will be the Hofgericht, which will raise prestige and legitimacy and lower core creation cost. Which can end up being helpful. I'm gonna need to raise relations with Kuhn. I'm not gonna speak that English name because it's a French name which is weird. Cologne. I prefer the German pronunciation of that, Kuhn. Or you might see me actually use native pronunciation sometimes. Especially if I think it sounds better. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.